Uh, yeah, Bipesh, over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Rohit. Hey, welcome, everybody. This is our 12th meetup based in LA. And today we are going to talk about IDP. I'm sure you know IDP was released in April. I'm sure you have all have heard about it. Um, you know, to some extent now, if not already used in the engagements. I have personally not used yet, but I'm trying to learn more from Rohit's demo. He has access to the component. I do not yet so far, but we're trying to just have a conversation around it. Just look, from consumers' perspective or participants' perspective, what use cases you guys see fit, and we're trying to keep it more informal. So please ask questions or raise your points anytime you feel like. Um, as we start, just want to get through the safe harbor statement here. We're just doing this presentation for the sake of sharing the knowledge and knowing more about this new component that we have called IDP, and also understand your perspective. Not really coming as an authority figure here, just trying to have a dialogue and understand what the component is about and what use cases this is relevant to in different business scenarios. So we're not really representing any companies here. From housekeeping perspective, this will we are recording this session and we'll have the recording available within 24 hours on our um, Meetup repository site. And any questions or concerns you have during the Meetup, please raise questions. We may have all answers or we may not have answers. We'll get back to you with the answers as we find or discover those. Please be informal and interactive. And feedbacks are really important for us to get through this, and also for our future meetups. And also with your consent, we are recording this session, and we'll also maybe take a snapshot so towards the end of the session, so hopefully you'll be able to turn on your camera for just a quick snap towards the end of the presentation. Next. So as this is the presentation about IDP primarily, so we'll start with some latest MuleSoft updates and try to answer any questions or you know bring about some discussions about IDP at the end of the session. Um, so we are Rohit and me. We've been conducting this LA-based meetup. I started in 2018, but we had kind of slowed down in between during COVID. And most of the presentations, sessions are happening online nowadays. So I mean, it's not really location centric anymore, but we still try to get discussion around our local MuleSoft community. And Rohit, if you would like to introduce yourself, please
Yeah,
go ahead.
thank you, Bipesh. Thank you for kicking us off. Guys, my name is Rohit, and I'm an engineering manager at Folian Corporation. This is the company closer to Los Angeles, and it is located in Santa Barbara. It is a kind of a probably an hour drive from LA, and uh, yeah, I have been involved in LA Meetup for the last 3 to 4 years or so. During COVID as well, we have been conducting virtual meetups, and but we want to kind of a rekindle this particular group now with the new innovations that are coming on the MuleSoft platform. Yeah, I'm very much invested on the MuleSoft platform. Uh, yeah, so let me take you through to this with the latest updates. Recently, there are some AnyPoint API governance that came recently, and this allows the user to view the conformance information in the API manager, and provides the governance report in both API manager and Anypoint API, both the areas basically. Uh, these are some of the Mule runtime engine related updates that 4.7.0 now includes the Spring Core, CXF version, and JCoco. These are the new upgrades regarding these. And if we talk about the Cloud Hub runtime and infrastructure patch, on August 6th, there was a patch, and they had to kind of address some of the regressions for this patch on August 8th. So take a look if you are on these patches. Uh, yeah, and on the kind of a release channels, now there are two release channels. One is Edge, and another one is they call it as the long-term support for with the release of Mule 4.5. So take a look into those options if those make sense for your business. Okay, so let's move on to the IDP, intelligent document processing, and this particular area has been kicking off really well. Recent Dreamforce also had a lot about it, and I think uh, this particular area provides lot of optimization around the businesses, and regarding the with respect to the latest kind of a monetary tightening across the world. I think efficiency was the main focus, or has been the main focus across the businesses. Whatever kind of a business is there, the efficiency is the core basically. So the recent, if we talk about why should we opt for intelligent document processing, okay? So this is a very big question, and this come intelligent document processing features or licenses comes for a price, but the important question can come: what value IDP adds to the business? Why should businesses opt for the IDP? So, first justification to that particular point is that operational efficiency, and second one is it adds kind of a saves a lot of hours to the businesses. So, a recent kind of a research is that automation saves around 30% of the operation cost, and businesses saves that literally. And if I give an example of my business with the automations, apart from MuleSoft, we have been saving. Just to give my lab example, in 2024, we are scheduled to save lot of around 24,000 hours in 2024. So that is kind of an impact automations can have on a business, and 24,000 hours for a business is an enormous amount of money. So that is how kind of a automations makes an impact on the business's bottom line. Another research is that with the automations, employee productivity goes up. Every employee can save around 3.6 hours per week, and that is a huge amount of money for the businesses. It can add a lot of value around compliance. Compliance in a sense that if your legal team needs to kind of go through a lot of documentation, it can automate that documentation kind of a scanning and everything. It can add a lot of value to the customer satisfaction when there are timely responses. But the bigger thing is that is still in the modern world, when the whole world is talking about the digitization of their business, right? Even then, there are around there is around 80% of organizational data hold within the documents. So that is the key. Means if around the world, if 80% of businesses are holding, if the businesses are holding 80% of their data within the paper document, so IDP can be a really amazing tool to digitize those documents basically. So that is the kind of a fundamental thing about it. Okay, So when we talk about document processing, is this a new technology or not? So intelligent document processing is not a new technology. Before this, even with the kind of a previous automations, optical character recognition was already there. It has been there for many years. And but with the older technology that is related to kind of a optical character recognition, the biggest problem is that those older technologies are relying on the structured data. What it means is that the older technology can read the data out of a document, that is fine, but it can only work properly or efficiently if your document is of the same size or same type. Every time, if it is of same type, only then it will come, it will work efficiently. But that is not the real world situation. Every document is different, every format is different, and that is the reason the older technology doesn't work that efficiently with the kind of a non-structured uh, documents. So that kind of a takes away the actual kind of a vision that is associated with the document processing. Another problem with the legacy systems, or the systems that are built on top of optical character recognition, is that it do not build a overall ecosystem so that we can automate the full functional automated workflow of that the business is having the documents, and it can feed that particular data into all the backend systems. So that is the challenge basically with the older systems, or the existing systems that are available in the market. In addition to that, another challenges are lack of data validation. There are some scenarios when your AI system is reading the document, and if that confidence level is not very high, there should be someone who should be manually validating that particular output. So that may turn into a lot of man hours basically when there is a lot of data validation. Means when there are millions and millions of documents that needs to be digitized uh, digitized, and if there is a lack of data validation, it can turn into a nightmare for the business. So these are some of the existing challenges with the currently available kind of a document processing technologies. So we will go through this our kind of a IDP demo and check how IDP is going to solve these kind of problems. Okay. Okay. So now question comes, why do we need a scalable document processing solution? So in the previous slide, I mentioned that the structured, the existing technology depends a lot on the structured documentation. There is not a complete ecosystem of workflow or technologies that can automate end-to-end processes. So that is the problem MuleSoft IDP is solving, that it is giving us a kind of a end-to-end documentation automation. You start with a file, and it will read and structure in a non-structured and a structured data from that particular document, and convert into very intelligent output information. And then we have, through the MuleSoft, we have a complete ecosystem of kind of a technologies that can feed the data into the backend system. So that is the value MuleSoft IDP is providing. Another thing is that with the existing solutions that are available within the market, right, the time or the investment that it takes is a lot. Means if you can build that solution within Python, Java, Ruby, wherever you want to build it, but it takes a lot of investment from the business. So that kind of a solution may be feasible only for the larger enterprises that have huge amount of money, but for the smaller businesses who can just have a small amount of money to digitize their documentation, it may not be feasible for them when it takes 6 months or a year to go with that kind of an automation, go live with that kind of an automation. So that is the uh, kind of a the ROI on the existing systems is limited. And I mentioned that every AI output that any kind of a AI platform provides, it needs to be validated when the confidence level is low. And when we are processing millions and millions of records, documents, and there is a intervention necessary from the humans to validate the output, then it can turn into large amount of human hours to validate that particular data. So overall, IDP is solving the problem that it is providing the end-to-end automation, easy conversion of the document, or magical conversion of the document into the data points. And it has built a ecosystem where the validation is very easy for any of the business people. So that is the kind of a that is how the IDP solution is very scalable. Okay, so now let's talk about overall what is the intelligent document processing on MuleSoft. So intelligent document processing on MuleSoft is a kind of a combination of technologies that uses optical character recognition, intelligent character recognition, natural language processing, and machine learning and computer vision under the hood. And yeah, so it is a kind of a AI under the hood overall. So it has four different kind of a phases when a document is read from the when a document is digitized. So it goes through four different steps. For example, uh, the first step is the document intake, when the document, which is structured or semi-structured or no unstructured, we capture that particular document in any PDF file or a JPG or whatever format we want to, and then we feed the document into the IDP, and IDP extracts the uh, information out of that, and then provides the data in a very structured format that can be kind of a consumed by any of the systems. And now, because overall this intelligence is within the MuleSoft, it can be integrated with any of the downstream systems. So MuleSoft provides the ecosystem of connections. We can easily integrate it with any of the third-party system or backend system, basically. So these are the four different steps of intelligent document processing. Okay. So if we talk about then what are the benefits? So these are the three main benefits. It maximizes the efficiency, automates the overall workflow. uh, so even if we build the intelligence through any custom solution, if we are not intelligently able to or easily able to integrate that solution with the different system, then the technology will be lying as is. So uh, overall, the IDP is enhancing the efficiency, it is providing the ecosystem of workflows, and the time to market is very minimal, very, very minimal. And you will see that in the demo as well. So these are the three main benefits that IDP is providing. With this, I'll hand it over to you, Bipesh, and take it over till the demo. You are on mute, seems to be on mute, Bipesh.
Sorry about. You can hear me now.
Yeah.
Okay. So what lies under the hood, right? So um, the Intel IDP, it leverages different technologies. It uses, OCR technology. It uses, machine learning algorithms to basically identify the extracted, semantics of the extracted contents, and then, to give them a structure and create a response. So what lies underneath that is a combination of AI technologies. So the OCR part is taken care by the Amazon Textract, which is an ML service from AWS, and that is leveraged with and complemented by Einstein AI. So it gives capabilities like prompting, and it really looks at the extracted setup document and gives other and any further insight that we need to get from those document extracts. Einstein's leverages that. So if you look on the screen, look at the screenshots, just for the Amazon text extract, what it's doing is basically taking a document, it's identifying all the fields and their values, and creating more of a structured output. And if you have a free tier account on AWS, you can go ahead and try this out with just a additional AWS service. And Einstein AI, we're kind of leveraging pretty much across all the Salesforce, entire Salesforce ecosystem, pretty much in all the components and capabilities. We're trying to leverage Einstein. So it's a very versatile um, model that we have. Okay. Next slide, Rohit. Um, and how does it work? So how does IDP work, or how does it process its entire, entire flow? So at the core of IDP lies is something called document actions, which is kind of a multi-step process. And what it does is it combines all the AI capabilities, ML capabilities, OCR capabilities, and creates a sequence of steps. Um, and in response for the document that we load, it returns a structured response for us. Okay. And with the prompts and Einstein AI capabilities, we can extract or query certain information based on that return response that is created from the OCR technology. Um, for the document actions, on the next step, I'll go through the steps. But what it needs to operate is basically defines a schema, which basically lays out what are the different types of fields that are going to be, some of the fields going to be mandatory or some are excluded fields. So pretty much how we define access for many different schemas for different user interface components. So similarly, we define the schema, and which kind of gives us a kind of a template. And Salesforce currently has two templates defined for invoice and purchasing order, and there is a generic template which can be used for other type of documents at the moment. But as it progresses, we will have more and more templates defined out of the box as part of adding more features into IDP. For all the extracted fields, what it does is, because machine learning algorithms, they give us confidence score for anything that it identifies. So similarly, for each and every field, it basically gives the confidence score. And based on the confidence score, if it's below confidence score, then it has to go through a review process, right? So there is a review process also embedded into that,
Yeah.
overall process. Yeah. There's a question, Said,
Yes.
sir.
Uh, Sorry, Vipesh. Sorry to interrupt. I
No,
see
no
what
worries.
is IDP screen.
Mhm.
Is that the slide that you are on, or
Yeah, MuleSoft IDP document actions. Is that what you're looking at?
no? I see what is intelligent document processing. The very first screen, first slide. Um,
Okay.
Your slides have not moved for you?
uh, yeah, looks like.
Rohit, can you go back one more time?
Let me stop sharing and reshare again.
Okay.
Let me know if you are able to see, Sai.
Yeah, yep, yep. Now. Nice.
Thank you.
You see the MuleSoft IDP slide now?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So there is a configuration component, there are templates, and also, the it supports once the documents are processed, and it identifies the, all the fields, and it supports prompting. For example, if if we need to identify, for an invoice, what is the total amount of, the monetary value, or certain other fields in summarized way, or more inferenced value, or exact value, some identifiers, then we can basically prompt those in a natural language, through Einstein AI. So that's those capabilities are built on top of these services. So next, Rohit. So how does the overall cycle looks like? So initially we define, the configuration aspect, the output schema, and callback URL is a relatively new feature that's been added, because once we started document processing, it takes some time for it to go through, extract all the information, and the IDP will make a callback to that URL with the response. So that sets some as processed in more synchronous way. And also it defines the reviewers where it should go if, for example, certain fields do not meet the threshold of confidence in level. So in that case, it has to go through the review process, and the reviewers can process, and whatever the changes they need to do, that is done. And so there is a kind of a manual process embedded in case of, in case, the algorithm does not identify certain attributes or values to certain confidence level, right? Once the configuration aspect is defined, then it's published to Exchange, and it can be now used as an IDP API as a service. So it's available for consumption, and we just feed in a document, execute the algorithm through the service, and that point it triggers the document action. The document action basically goes through identifying, parsing the document, identifying those fields, create the structured document, assign, level of confidence value to those attributes. And if there is any review needed, then it puts that into a review queue, and reviewers can verify and submit. Then it goes to the retrieval aspects of, and after everything is done, then you can query it, you can prompt it, and get the whole JSON response. So that's kind of an overall cycle, what it looks like. Any questions up to this point? Okay. So yeah, so that's what happens under the hood. Now I think Rohit can make it more visual for us, and so we can see how it works. Up to you. Back to you, Rohit.
Thank you. So let me take it out of the slide. So uh, there are a couple of steps that are involved in this before we create any action. So the intelligent document processing is based on the actions within IDP platform. Okay. But before a developer is able to kind of create those actions, the developer needs to have those permissions basically. And I will try to show you what those permissions are, but let me take it. So these are the permissions basically. If I go here, these are the three. If you go under the uh, access management, and under access management, if you go to the user who is going to develop the actions, So with those permissions, you can select this add permission button and assign the document permissions to that particular user. So for any of the IDP user to develop on IDP platform, it is mandatory to have the manage action, build action, and execute published actions. These are the permissions that are required. Yeah, BPS, you have a question?
Yeah, Rohit, can you zoom in a little bit? It's a little hard to see
Okay. How
on the
about
screen.
now?
Yeah, much better. Yeah, much better. Thank you.
So what I have done, I have gone on to my user, and under user, you have the add permissions, and under add permissions, you can add these document permissions basically. So that is the very first step. If in your organization you are going to develop on the IDP, so you need to ask your org administrator for these permissions before you start developing, else you will keep on struggling. Any questions so far? Anything? Okay, so that is the very first thing. So I already have these permissions. So now I'm gonna go on to mm, my IDP. So now the next item on the IDP is the actions. Okay. So as I mentioned, anybody can develop the actions only if you have the permission document related permission. So far on the IDP, there are three type of actions that you can or what you call templates, or there are three type of actions that you can create. One is I think PPS has also covered this: invoice type of actions, purchase order, and generic. The generic covers any of the generic document. It can be your passport, your driver's license, or any of the legal document, the compliance document that you may be having in your business, and it can help you read and digitize that particular document. In this demo, I'm gonna focus on to the invoice and the purchase order templates basically. So let me go through this, and let's go through the invoice first. Let's say it's number 2, and I'll create this particular action. Okay, so I have created this action. Now it goes through. Under this, it has we need to configure here, and configuration, this is the configure step. Okay, and then the next step is publish, and after publishing, it goes into the exchange and it becomes our APIs, right? uh, and once APIs are there, we can go into our anypoint platform or anypoint wherever we want to consume those APIs, and consume that component out of the exchange. Or we can go to our RPA basically. Okay, and RPA can consume that particular connector. RPA is also part of this particular tool, right? Or you can go to the composer. Composer can consume that connector that is published in the in the anypoint exchange. But for the demo purpose, let's go through this invoice processing. So this is my configuration, and here you see that the template is having 51 different fields, and if there is going to be a table, basically it is going to extract the data into that particular table. And if there is some information that is not part of the either the fields or the table, we can write the prompts, and the Einstein is going to extract that particular information out of the document. So let's take a demo of it. Okay, so this is my invoice template, and I'll go and pick any of the invoice here, open, and this is the sample invoice that I'm having. And let's say do the run basically here. So this is having one address is this one, bill to address is this one, ship to address is this one, invoice number, all these things. And we are having a table. This is called as the table. Okay, so we are having a kind of a table that is kind of a having the different line item. So let's run this basically. Okay, so I'm running this, and let's see if it populates this particular information or extract this particular information. Okay, so it has executed. Okay, let's see. So you now see here that it has extracted 41 fields out of 51, and The business name is East Repair. Let's see if we find this particular East Repair somewhere. Here we go. The vendor name is East Repair Incorporation. The address of that particular vendor is this one. And yeah, and the bill to and ship to addresses. Here is the ship to address. Here is the address block, kind of a some address block that is ship to address, and this is also here on the ship to site, right? It has also extracted. You see these highlighted. This is signifying that this particular IDP has extracted these fields automatically. Now, the point I was trying to make earlier is that if this much of the digitization was, we would be building that in any of the Ruby or Python or so, this simple project would turn into many months project basically. And that is the value MuleSoft IDP is adding to the business. Okay. So let's see if we have extracted this table or not. Let's see. So we are here, and I need to go a little bit. Okay, let's see. Look here, how beautifully this has extracted this information. Let's see. So here, $100, amount 100, quantity 99.90 or something, 1. Basically 1, 2, and 3. So this is the confidence level basically. So this is the confidence level. So this is saying I have 100% confidence that this amount is 100. Okay. This is saying this is 99.99% confidence that it is $30. Okay. So unit price, this is having that I am 99.99% confident this is $15. Let's say whether it is a front and rear brake cables. Yes, look at this. Okay. So the overall bottom line that I was trying to explain in the beginning is that couple of years back, or when everyone was going through these kind of a automations, it was an enormous effort. Now with just few clicks, point and clicks, we are able to extract a document, and now after this we save it and we can publish this on the Anypoint Exchange. Basically, I'm not going to do it right now. That is going to be part of our next demo, basically probably in next 2 weeks or so, because we need to publish this, we need to build the RPA automation, we need to build the Anypoint automation, we need to build the composer automation. So that is going to be the next phase. But the simple point what we are trying to make here is that it is very easy, like a piece of cake right now, to extract any of the information out of it. Let's say there is some information that is not here. Let's take an example that invoice number is not here. Okay. Let's assume. So what we can do, if there is some information that is not part of this template, we can go and write the prompt here. So we are saying invoice number, and let's say, and we have said that this is the confidence threshold is going to be 80%. Okay, we have added this. So let's run this again, and let's say if this prompt is going to extract us the invoice number. Let's see. Here we go. With 99% confidence level, it is saying that invoice number is US-001. That is how it is. So fields and tables are going to provide us the information that is part of this template. That is the invoice template. The same thing we can do with the purchase order as well. The second template is purchase order. Let me take a pause here. And if you guys have any question, Madhav and Saicharan, or even Pipes, if you have any question. You're on mute, I think.
Can you try to add a reviewer there? I'm not
Yeah.
sure if you have anybody else in your organization
No.
with the right set of permissions, but
yeah,
you can assign yourself, I think.
correct. I can assign myself, and the question can be, what is the purpose of the reviewer, right?
Right.
So let me add this, and save it. So the purpose of the reviewer here is, let's say we are expecting, let's say this particular prompt is, we are saying that it should be 80%, right? So if the IDP is sensing that, hey, this confidence level is not 80%, this is 78%, 75%, right? So in that particular situation, it is not going to process that particular document. It IDP is going to send that particular document conversion or digitization to the reviewer basically, and reviewer is going to check whether this particular value is actually US.
So it basically goes to the review queue, and on the left you see that review tasks, right? The
Yes,
reviewer should be able to see there
yes,
what needs to be done.
correct, exactly. uh,
Okay. Let's do one thing. So can you change that threshold to 99.5% and see if it throws that out too?
I think I'm okay. Sai is
Can
also
you do
having,
that?
yeah, I can do that. Sai is also having another question.
I have a different question. Do you see that fields? I see that fields as 51. Is that the limitation from MuleSoft that only 51 fields will be accepted in a specific document?
Yep. I think this is a template basically. Okay.
Okay. So if my document, if I want to, there are three sections, right? In the generic section, if I'm giving a document that has maybe I'm trying to pull 100 fields out of it, is there any limitation on the fields that I pull out of the document?
I think you can add more fields probably here in this 30 more fields, I think, with the prompt, if that is not covered with your kind of a standard fields. And another point might be that I haven't played around with the generic document, how it is going to turn with the generic template basically.
Okay, got it.
Can we
So
can
for
we
the invoice, this is the 51 are the fields that is a template kind of stuff.
Yes.
Rohit, are these three templates, those are customizable?
No, these are my
Design.
understanding so far is that it is out of the box like this.
No. Okay.
And if you need something away from this, and I can do more research, if there is something more than, if you need something different than this, I think we are going to do the generic template then in that situation.
Right.
Okay. So you wanted me to run with 99.9%. Okay, let's see.
So it has 99%.
Mhm. And
Did it create any review task? Because our confidence threshold is 99.9, which is higher than
no, is
typical.
it is a configuration phase, right?
Okay.
It is a
Okay.
configuration phase. So the actual review is going to happen when there is a real-time execution happening.
Okay.
Okay, let me pause here. This is the invoice template. Do you guys want me to go through the purchase order template? Sai or Mata? Your call.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. So I'll save this template and let's go through the second one. So the same way we have, uh, so let's go to the purchase order. Let's call it a purchase order template number 2. And the same thing, the purchase order template is also having its own, it has 54 different fields based on the standard business practices. And let's say I have these couple of purchase orders, the same thing, I have this as the purchase order. Let me run this. And here we go. Here it extracts 25 data points out of this. And let's see if courier is not there, right? So I don't think courier is there. So let's say what is the method. Let's add this and run this again. Here we go. It gives courier as the shipping method, and it gives the 100% confidence that yeah, shipping method is courier. Let's go dive into the different fields. Tax is 10%. Here we go. Total is this much. Buyer's address is this much. The buyer's URL is there. We can hide these fields if necessary. We can remove these out of the payload or so. And the table content is gonna come here. Let's look into this. Here we go. This is purchase order template. Let me know if you guys have any other question. Let's do a little bit more notes. Let's run this. Sorry, I think I did not add the prompt. Here we go. So it just gave this much of the, but that is a kind of a uh, fake note. Lorem ipsum, the bottom. That is why I believe it is giving the low confidence.
Okay.
Okay. That's it. I think that is what I have. Any questions? Anybody? Awesome.
Um, uh, Maybe I missed that point. So on the back end, how does this works? Um, the prompt, whenever we give the prompt, and it should the processings and this AI machine learning stuff. Does MuleSoft has the LLMs, or um, do MuleSoft as for the deployment, MuleSoft internally deploys through AWS servers, right? EC2 instances. So similar way, do MuleSoft has any third party vendor doing all this stuff, or MuleSoft itself does it?
MuleSoft utilizes AWS Textract, which is a ML service from AWS, and it leverages Einstein AI for prompt, and internally it makes a call to the services that AWS provides. It's built on top of that.
Okay, got it.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Keep
thank you,
going.
Rohit,
I think
for the good, nice demo.
Yeah, it was a good discussion. So guys, we will extend this particular discussion in next 2 weeks as well, and we will come up uh, with the whole workflow. And the next workflow is gonna include basically it is gonna include RPA, it is gonna include MuleSoft Composer, and it will also include the AnyPoint integration with the IDP basically, or IDP uh, templates that we are gonna publish on the exchange. So stay tuned, and thank you that you joined this, and I hope, or I and Dipesh hope that you are going to join the next session as well, so that we can conclude this particular discussion as well. Dipesh,
All right.
over to
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I see Kavya has sent a message. Okay. So thank you, Kavya, also for joining. So we'll be looking forward to our next meetup
you. Yep.
in about 2 weeks.
Thank you. Thank you, guys, and have a good evening.
Thank you so much, Bipesh and Rohit. So I'm pretty excited to see the response. How does we get the response out of it? By seeing the earlier side, I can assume that there should be a JSON response of that specific document. So I'm excited to see how we publish the documents, send the documents, and get the JSON response out of it. So recently, I got this IDP access in my organization. I'm planning to do some POCs on it. I'll be definitely joining these sessions. So on what when can we expect the next session to be?
We are going to publish immediately after this, and it is going to be exactly the same time next to next week.
2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now, same day, same time.
Okay. Yep. Thank you so much.
All right.
And
Okay.
Madhva, the recording will be available tomorrow morning. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, once again for joining. We'll be looking forward to meet you again in next meetup. Have a good one.